So we've reached the end of the pre-recorded podcast that me and you have been doing. We've had a remarkable time, but unfortunately what this also means is that for us in the past, it's currently the beginning of March.
Yeah.
It means Jake's going to be gone for the next 26 weeks.
Yes.
And for 10 of those weeks, the only way me and you are going to be able to communicate back and forth is via letters.
We can do smoke signals, but I think I'd get caught pretty quick.
But if by the time this comes out, you're going to be back.
Yeah.
The way today's going to work is that we are going to do kind of half a podcast but the podcast is going to be same length because when you get back, we are going to finish recording this podcast, this episode. So it's one half is filmed in March 2021. The other one will be November-ish.
Wait, no, let me see.
He's counting.
It'll be like 7 months, so
7 months?
10th October. It'll be some
October, November-ish.
October.
And what we're going to use this podcast as the opportunity is to talk about kind of the future.
Yeah.
And where we think where we want to be and where we think the world's going to be and where and it's going to kind of hold us accountable to be able to reach. This is the somber episode where it's like, as much as we love talking about music and movies and dumb shit all the time, it's going to be a challenging next couple months for both of us in a lot of ways. But we're also going to talk about some really good news.
Yeah.
If all thing goes to plan, our current plan is to use your military benefits as well as our savings and move to a large filmmaking city.
Yeah.
We think the best decision for us is to head that way because we both wish to pursue a career in filmmaking and media in general.
Yeah.
And this plan has changed so dramatically just in the couple of weeks we've been planning before you leave, and it could change even more. So
I mean, we figured we could survive in LA, but just in case, because we don't have a lot of experience, so we didn't want to risk it.
I didn't feel confident in Los Angeles yet because our as much as me and you have done, we still have a lot to learn, and I think it's good for us to learn. And I think building our resumes even more so, even though maybe we do have more experience in certain aspects, especially theater, than the average person.
Yeah.
Filmmaking is a very different field, and we need to sharpen our skills as much as we can.
And hopefully, we'll have a perfect storm of creators that we'll be living with.
Though we know it's not going to be easy, and we know it's going to be challenging, and there's going to be times of uncertainty, but we do not do things because they are easy, but because they are hard.
Yes.
As of when we're speaking, I'm taking courses in in fields that I am not good at.
Yeah.
But I am taking them to improve and because I know that they are difficult, and I know that it applies myself. So for us, we started planning this just at the beginning of January when we started recording these podcasts and stuff, and we started releasing stuff. And I don't know where this podcast is going to be. I don't in 9 months.
Yeah.
I don't know what we're doing, or worst case scenario, God forbid, you pull a pin on a grenade and throw the pin.
I think I'll be safe from that.
How depressing is that gonna be? I'm gonna knock on some closest wood.
Please do. I'm just gonna.
If one of us dies,
I
always
gosh. Consider the fact that I could die at any moment, and I have come to peace with that because I think about it so often. Not that I want to, obviously. I just think about it could happen.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if something happened to you, would I just keep releasing the podcast?
Just give me a cool death announcement and then just move on. That's
Yeah.
like this is me recorded words telling you to move on.
Yeah, but I feel like throwing those up there would be such a good way to like memorialize like there's record. I don't know. Let's not
No,
have
yeah,
this conversation. I don't want to have this conversation.
Post all the ones that I've already been in, but tell people who've heard the episodes already, like Jake's passed. And that's not gonna happen.
Let's not have this conversation. I don't want to.
Most people don't die in basic training or AIT.
Yeah, but like it could.
Yeah, if that happens, then we're gonna look back and be like, I mean, you're gonna look back.
I'm gonna look back and be like,
shit.
huh, man, I wish I wasn't right.
Should have even mentioned it. We think we manifested it now. It's too late.
We've manifested our destiny.
Sealed my fate.
Yeah, God forbid this.
Yeah,
but
I very much doubt that I'm gonna die.
So our ultimate goals is we're gonna wrap up. I am going to wrap up my schooling and focus on creating and focus on work.
Yeah.
Though I may return and finish schooling sometime in the future, I'm at a point in my life now where I just want to be done.
Mm-hmm.
I'm at a point where it's like I've learned what I can learn in these environments. I need to start doing. And these podcasts and the commentaries and the highlight reels and all the other shows that I'm currently working on and stuff and videos that I want to put up, they have been a tremendous outlet for me. It is a creative outlet where I think I mentioned briefly on because some of the pre-records have already started to go up.
Yeah.
And the second one, which was our bands, I talk about like this is the first time I've really felt like myself in a long time.
Yeah.
It's the first time I've been able to create and have this outlet and truly feel like myself. And I want to continue doing that, but I want to do it and also propel my career and my future to where I can keep doing stuff that makes me feel this way.
Yeah.
And I think we've crunched numbers and we've talked about saving and we've talked about job possibilities and whatnot. And I think we have a reasonably solid plan.
Mm-hmm.
Now, in a couple minutes when we jump ahead and it's us in 9 months, and all of these plans have definitely probably changed in some capacity.
Wait, are we doing like a 30-minute episode of us like right now?
So right now we're gonna record about 30 minutes or so.
Okay.
And then in 9 months,
we're
gonna record the rest of the podcast, and it's gonna tell us. You're gonna see our evolution.
Okay. I just want to make sure we're doing a significant amount of time.
But I want to do some things with this podcast. I want to use this as accountability to myself and to you and to everything and to where we need to be. We both have a set number of money we would like to have set aside, and that's good, but we're not going to talk about that here. I'm talking about where I want to be in 9 months. I want to have had there are a couple scripts that I am bouncing around right now. I would like to have at least 2 of them filmed and maybe both out. If I don't, future me, that's on you, okay?
Yeah.
Let's don't make excuses. This is the goal. I want to be able, I'm holding myself accountable, as well as I want to get much better shape. With COVID and stuff, it's been hard for me to hold a sizable exercise routine, and though I am still nowhere near the weight I was a long time ago. Mm-hmm. For those of you unfamiliar, I used to weigh close to 300 pounds, and now I am way below that. I've still gained an extra 15 over the past, or 10, 15 in the past year, and I would like to lose that. And I would like to be in a point where I can truly be proud of myself and my body. So those are my goals. Those are the things I want to have done. I want to have really upped my resume, and I want to be in a shape I can be that's healthier and I'm more proud of.
Yeah.
you've got so much that's
obviously,
you're gonna be doing while
yeah.
at basic and stuff.
It's like I don't have a lot of choice over what I can do over these next 7 to 9 months. But I really just hope that I put my all. Like in basic, I know it'll be hard because I'm building a foundation. But once I get to AIT and I can actually like be on my phone and I have my freedom, I hope that I don't revert back to wasting my time on my phone. I hope I can work hard because I'll need to prepare for the Carnegie Hall performance before I even get back. I'll need to prepare for.
Oh yeah, that's a thing, by the way.
Yeah, and I hope that works out. And I'm not saying because it's so early in the process. Like the trip could get canceled. I could get booted. Like so much stuff could happen.
Jake has been presented the possible opportunity to do these things.
And the best thing about it is it's not like some people sing at Carnegie Hall, like they rent it out and they go and just sing there generally. But we'd actually be in a concert series for Carnegie Hall. So it's like something I could actually put on my resume and you could go look it up. Like this is an event they're having.
Yeah,
so.
You're so remarkably talented, and I hope that this happens for you.
Yeah.
Is part of the reason we moved our move plan back a little bit longer. It was so that this could happen.
Yeah.
It's also we can save much more money this way.
And like I said, as much as I don't know if it's gonna happen, like as long as that's still a thing, I hope I can pour myself into my medic work and my music. I hope that I can split those two things because my whole life is gonna be about splitting the workload and trying to focus on art and business. So I need to go ahead and learn to do that. And as much as I hope that I'm going to go to basic and come back this focused, different person, I also hope that I keep a lot of the good qualities I have now. Maybe
don't
I
go
will
jarhead
change.
on me.
I don't think I could ever be that because I've never fully committed to like changing as a person. I've just fully committed to changing in the best ways that I can, like with my work ethic and my physical shape and stuff like that.
And that's where I think you touched on something that I think is interesting, where it's like you want to expel or you want to inflate your artists and your business side. Well, in my case, it's art is my business.
Yeah,
and I will live and die based around creating.
Yeah.
And if I'm ever at a point in my life where I'm not creating, well, then I'm not myself.
Yeah.
I think with COVID, it's gonna be it's been the most difficult for me to ever create or even have ideas in this time of anxiety and worry. In the year 2020, I was talking with somebody. I was like, listen, I'm real fucking sick of living through extraordinary events.
Yeah.
Like, I wish I wasn't living through things that are going to be in history books. I'm real sick of doing that.
Yeah.
As for all these months from now, all these podcasts we've been recording and stuff, I want to keep this going as long as possible. I want to keep doing the show because it is helping me mentally. It is helping me create. It is keeping me at least somewhat productive. As for the world, where do you think we are going to be? Do you think we're going to be in a better place, a worse place?
I hope at that point, because as much disdain as I have for some of the general systems in our society, I do think that we'll be able to do a lot of good. And I hope that we'll be in a better place with COVID, especially. I hope that by this point in time that we're recovering, if not completely recovered from that time.
We're just getting to the point where vaccines are being distributed in a fairly good quantity. As terribly as the United States has butchered their response and how we handled this pandemic, we are vaccinating at a decent number, and we're even moving slowly into new phases. And merely a few days ago, of the time we're recording, is when the Johnson & Johnson vaccine was approved for distribution and use.
Yeah.
And it does seem to be that though that vaccine is less potent and less, I don't know if that's the word, but less effective.
Like you have to take multiple doses of it?
No, that one you don't have to. That is one dose.
That's That might be why then.
That's exactly it. But that's the one that is rumored to be going towards the younger people.
Yeah.
The people who it's less of a, and it'll be more like a flu shot scenario for us.
Oh, Johnson & Johnson making kids products. I see that.
Yeah. No matter what trials await us in the future, I'm excited, whether it's trials of the world or trials of our business or trials emotionally.
Yeah.
There's not a better person, a better friend that I would want by my side than you.
I completely agree, man. And that's why we are, because literally what I've said is, if I can do anything for you, like for what you're going to do in life, for what you're going to do with your business or your movies, like I will do it. Like that's why we're going to move together, because we have to be here for each other.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
And there's no one I would trust more than with helping me in these scenarios than you. I think we're at a point, last thoughts before we jump to the future.
I say we could ask ourselves some questions
Before we go back
some
to the
hardball
future.
questions.
We could. I was just going to say, my final little thought is like, no matter what trials the world brings us in these next few months, be it emotional, the world, or hell, the worst could happen. As much as we wish it wouldn't, God forbid, but we don't know where the world's going to be. We don't know where we're going to be, but regardless, find your friends and get through it together.
Yeah.
As for questions to ask ourselves in the future,
yeah.
What's because I know we'll listen back to these and
Let me think.
I want to ask myself something stupid.
Do it. I want to ask myself something stupid too, but I can't think of what question. I can't think of how I'm going to set up my own joke.
Exactly.
Like that's the
you
hard
want a
part.
9-month payoff.
Like this is gonna be the longest joke I've ever told, and I don't know how to do it.
It's well, first off, we need to know, like, have our plans changed in any capacity? Like, our plans for Atlanta, like, have changed and bounced around so much just in these past 3 months of us planning.
Yeah.
Have they changed any more since then? Like,
Yeah.
I'm if there is, of course, we'll give the update, and we'll probably go more detailed in the plan in a few months when we know more information. We've hit a point of stagnation where it's like we have planned as much as we possibly can until the next steps are taken.
I would like to ask myself, and that was a very important question. I'm glad you asked that. But I just like to ask myself, do I finally have the full 6-pack?
Do you?
For my whole life, not my whole life, but ever since, as long as I can remember, I've had this middle core definition.
Yeah.
The bottom of my core has never been filled out. It's never been defined enough to be an actual 6-pack, because like my middle core is the strongest, like the upper part of my core. So I need to know, does future Jake have the full 6-pack?
And as for me, if we're talking about weight and stuff, it's like, future me, how are we doing? Are we at a point that we are at least I'm happy with myself now, and I've learned very much the importance of body acceptance and whatnot, but are we at a point of not pride, because that's I don't like that ideal, but something you can be proud of.
Yeah. You can be proud of yourself and not be filled with pride. You know, being a prideful person is just very bad road to walk down.
Have you felt that your writing has improved? Have you felt that your art has improved? Your comedy and all those things, the things that we practice on this channel daily.
Yeah. Future Jake, if you haven't already done so, set up the freaking business structure, put it on paper, put it in a program. I do not care, but start working towards that, because you're not going to be in LA, you're going to be in Atlanta, meaning you have no excuse not to start your business at any point in the time in the next few years. Start it. I mean, yeah, you'll be doing your business degree after this, whatever.
And talk to the guy sitting next to you who also helped you structure your move and could help you plan these things out.
Yeah, you'll have plenty of help around you, but don't use that as a crutch either. Just do the work, dude. You've got it.
Future me, keep making things. I don't care. Remember, our motto is it doesn't have to be good. It just has to exist.
Yeah.
Heard that on a podcast one time. Podcasts are like my fortune cookies,
Yeah.
where I'm just like, occasionally. Remember the two most
Occasionally
important pieces of advice you ever received, me. Your art doesn't have to be good; it just has to exist. And learn to drink your coffee black; it will make your life easier.
That is very true. I've started doing that recently, and I don't drink a lot of coffee, but I'm gonna start trying to like practice doing that. And honestly, you start getting a taste for it. I can see that.
I like it. It's good. All right, I think we're gonna cut to the future.
Yeah.
All
All
right.
right. Back. I mean, forward to you.
Back to the future.
Us.
See you. Take it away, us.
Yeah.
Take it away, future us. Shut the fuck up.
No.
You dumbass.
No.
Who knows nothing about what they're talking about.
Why don't you stop talking so much shit? All right. I'm gonna set up my business when I want. All right. I'm sorry. That was rude.
That was so bad.
We sounded so like on top of our high horses in that it really just.
Dumb fucker.
I can't.
Pretentious mother.
I know you're mad at you and I'm mad at me, but
I
like,
hate myself.
I wish they could send a message back to the past and say something to them. Be like, please re-record.
That would be my message. My message would be,
Fuck
shut the
you.
fuck up. You don't know anything. You're an idiot.
I think that I had some good points, but I just sounded so pretentious that I just hate it. I know.
I feel so bad.
I love myself, but sometimes I get on my nerves.
It does in the future, by the way.
Yeah.
People who know how to talk into microphones. Well, one of us.
Sometimes I do. Sometimes.
Depends on what we're doing. If it's a commentary, no. You're like.
I get too comfortable.
We can do visual
I'll be like
jokes
this
now, because there's actual video now. Which
Yeah, you
is
can
the
see
big
me.
Difference in how the podcast has evolved.
If you're not watching the commentaries and this is the first time you've seen us on video, what are you doing?
Yeah. First of all,
What are you
go
doing?
watch those if you like what we do here, but you want to do play it blaring over a movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're
do
watching
that.
this, you're a big nerd. Just go watch the other one. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on. You'll like it. I
Now
promise.
the plug's over. But fucking, there was so much in that I was just like, shut up.
The JFK
You
quote.
don't-
The JFK quote really got me.
I was such a...
I love it.
Okay, let's get the obvious kind of shit out of the way. First of all, we're tempering our expectations on moving. 'Cause the
Yeah.
economy is shit. The housing market is shit.
We have to really figure that
We
out.
gotta figure out a lot of shit. A lot of the assumptions we made about what benefits you were able to get were just flat out wrong.
Well, the bad
There
thing
still a
is
whiteboard
that
off the edge of the set that has like all the numbers that we crunched months ago that are all completely irrelevant.
is that rent correct? Looks a little high.
No, that's right.
Oh no.
That's rent in the cities that we desired.
Oh
that
no.
That was. Are you looking at the bottom number? The bottom number is after everything.
Oh, I was looking at the very top.
Yeah, the very top. Yeah, the top number is just a normal rent in that city. Which I don't know what of that I left in. I'm pretty sure I'm going to leave most of it in just for like the reason. Here's the thing, past me to give you some credit. The reason that we wanted to do this format where we talk to our past selves a little bit was because I knew I had the foresight to be like, I am an idiot who is learning every day, and me yesterday is the biggest idiot compared to me today.
Yeah.
Read a fucking book, man.
It was more for accountability, like to say
was.
like you have to at least keep these goals in mind. Don't just forget about them when something becomes more
And I'll
convenient.
give myself this. I was very optimistic with some of those goals. The fact that I wanted two... I gotta assume that I wanted 2 films ready to shoot.
Yeah,
Because
I agree.
how would I have you... Which, for the record, writing-wise, I think I probably do.
Yeah.
I've been on my writing. The other goals I set for myself has my art improved immensely.
For sure.
I've had 9 months more practice than I did 9 months ago. But there was a hard realism thing that just hit me.
Yeah.
That I was like, oh wow, you were the way the world thought it
Yeah.
crushed you. Not yet.
I'm mostly always an optimist, but even I can see like that was a little bit too optimistic.
There's
But
no
I do think
realism
it's
here.
important to keep, again, like we said, keep those goals in mind.
Yeah.
And if we can work
Absolutely.
towards those by the point in time that we said, like of course we're gonna do them. We just don't want to set that in stone. Say there's no way we can work
a lot
around
of
this.
The plans we said about where we're going and stuff, we're still planning on it.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of logistic stuff that I definitely cut out.
Yeah.
So, what else did we talk about? We just listened to it, and we were like, one cringing made me wonder. And I noticed this while editing the ones we recorded months ago and the more recent ones that I recorded with people in the studio.
Yeah.
How much better I have gotten at podcasting.
Yeah.
Just because, like, I guess at this point, like, we've done however many hours and hours of it now. Just I get, well, it's different for you because that was all at one time, but I've just been consistently doing this now.
Yeah.
Or inconsistently.
One of the two.
But I've been at least at maybe it hasn't come out at the same rate, but it's always a constant stream of stuff coming out, at least in some capacity, or at least me working on something.
Yeah.
So in that regard, I think I succeeded.
Yeah, I agree. I think that you've done really well to help step us up a little bit, and you've got a lot of good ideas that we're gonna be able to work towards. So it's like we definitely have improved. Like all the things we said about you wanted to improve your art, we wanted to improve our podcasting, we want to have this ready and that ready. Like we've improved a lot.
We
just
we
you
shot
know
for the stars, but we still got at least through the stratosphere.
Yeah, we landed somewhere close to the moon.
We're
Probably.
We did at least as good as the JFK administration.
We hit one of the SpaceX satellites going up, so
Sorry, the stock plummeted.
yeah.
Oh my gosh! And I don't know
My
how
bad.
much of like the pseudo political talk that we were. I'm gonna cut out.
The important thing that I think we said was don't wallow in hate for yourself or others.
Yeah.
If you hate something, try to understand it. Bam.
That doesn't mean
Summarize the entire thing.
Yeah. Now, granted, there's a lot of shit that like is just irrational, especially in like the modern day. But the important thing is to not let the hate be filled in you.
Yeah.
You know,
because
don't
that's
let it
gonna affect
your
you.
psyche.
Me hating, and then obviously I don't hate you. Me hating you is not gonna affect you. It's just gonna
I
affect
hate
me.
you.
Whoa, this is coming out of nowhere. I think I should leave. I didn't get out of here.
There was just so much, and like and as for like projects that we do have getting ready, we are so much closer
Yeah.
to them than what we were a few months ago.
Yeah, I'm really excited for the stuff we have moving forward. We've got a lot of great ideas. We just need the time to do them. I think what we were expecting a while
know
ago is
where
that we
the
just
time is coming.
be done.
We're
Yeah.
both overworked at the moment, ridiculously so.
Yeah.
And this will be probably next whenever's podcast, probably 2 weeks from now.
Yeah.
We're gonna be talking about an event we just went to. We were invited because of how this show does and the people we've met through it and whatnot. But we were invited to go participate in Extra Life this past week and raised a fair amount of money. We won't get too much into all of that fun stuff.
It was physical and emotional pain, but money for children.
But there was something in that audio we just heard that I think I talked about on when we were there to you. I said something about how performing and doing stuff like this is the first time I felt like myself in a year.
I think that's probably one of the most important things
And
we said.
I think it blew my mind even further that when we actually went to our first live event since before COVID.
Yeah.
You know, that's the first time we've done that since whatever our last theatrical performance was.
Which,
My
last thing was Gatsby, and that was before COVID hit at all.
Mine would have been A Christmas Carol.
Gosh.
Which would have been, I guess, during COVID, but we did a COVID-safe show.
But I say, didn't you do the dining room?
I did something. I don't know. I did something because I was also I was working with a theater that was trying to do very safe shows. So it was like, how do we work around the limitations where no one is going to get infected? How do we do limited shows with people, everyone socially distanced and all that? It was all very safe, and it made me think about we had to be very conscious to make sure no one was going to get sick because we didn't want them to. But at the same time, people are going to want something. We try to do the best we could.
Yeah.
But keeping everyone safe, which, granted, it's hard. It's very hard to do. I have been talking to the wrong side of the mic, but I've been yelling so loud. I'm sure it's fine.
Yeah.
Put Now check yours because now I'm paranoid.
Mine.
Okay, good. I'm an idiot. I'm dumb.
It's okay. We were getting ready to start.
Me in 9 months is gonna go look back on this podcast, or probably not, and go, "You pretentious fucker, you dumbass! Like you didn't know anything," and that's just gonna continue to happen. And you know what? Good. It's good that that's happening.
Yeah.
Because that means I'm growing as a person.
Yeah.
And the fact that I can look at every thing I've ever said on this show and just go, "You dumbass."
People who envy themselves from the past are equivalent to somebody who's basically died. Because if you look back in the past and say, I was better than, I was this and that, like you wish you were that person, then you haven't taken your life and done something with it. You've either stagnated or went downhill, which
I'm
is
so glad that you talked about it. One of the scripts I'm sitting on right now is completely about that. And I'm really... It's part of that one project you can't talk about, but has nothing to do with that other project you can't talk about.
Both the ones that are in the works that we don't want to say anything about.
This is on top of like this mean. It was right before Extra Life that I truly realized how much of a problem I have just saying no to things. Every project that comes through my way, it's like, you want to work on this? What do you think about this? Do you have the time for this? I'm like, yes, I do. Because you know what? I just want to make shit.
Yeah.
I want to make shit. That's all I want to do, and I'm happy that was where I was back then. Where I am now.
Yeah.
It was a short amount of time, and granted, we weren't expecting a full character arc for us to happen in 9 months. But you know what? At least I've learned how to work these microphones.
It means we're motivated and inspired, and as long as we keep that up and just keep pushing through the work, it'll work itself out. I mean,
as for the question
hopefully
we asked ourselves, you, how's the six pack?
What did I ask myself? It's more defined. All right, I have more strength over my entire body, but a six-pack is hard to maintain. Okay, that was a very high expectation. I needed to calm down. Okay, a six-pack takes both dieting and constant everyday work, and it takes me not sleeping in for too many days a week. So I need to get back in my groove before I can get that.
As for my talking about like weight and stuff, I'm still not at where I was at my peak fitness, but I'm also nowhere near my worst. I'm somewhere in this mid ground.
Yeah.
Where but as I started going back to the gym and stuff this time around, now that I was vaccinated and all this, which it didn't shock me that that's when the vaccines were coming out.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, the Johnson & Johnson just got approved.
Yeah.
Which means me and you would have. I would have gotten it probably within the next couple of weeks. I think I know I got my shots a week after when they allowed us to, because it was like, here's how long it's going to take you before we can get an appointment.
Yeah, I didn't get vaccinated until AIT, and it took forever because we had the 2 shots, and basically we were all terrified of getting COVID. One guy got COVID. And he was in the bunk beside me. We were all scared, but he disappeared for 2 weeks and just came back. So
yeah, the other thing is that it's kind of just you're extremely isolated.
Yeah, because like once we got in there and we all had to go through like testing and stuff. But like if anyone was exhibiting any signs, because the drill sergeants got to go into the civilian world, so they could have brought it to us just as easily as any. But it was very limited exposure, so like. It wasn't very likely we were going to get it. As long as those
dudes are getting tested regularly,
I think they were. I don't know. But
they had to have.
Yeah. But that one guy, Baxter, he left. It felt like he left for like a month. Mm-hmm. But he was like, I was gone for like 2 weeks. I was like, no way you were gone for 2 weeks. But every day was so long that I'm sure that he was right. But
I got to get into just how exponentially hard it was without you.
Yeah.
It was just like legitimately, I was just like, well, no contact with my best friend for the next however long, and then very limited contact for the rest of these these few months.
Yeah.
Which I feel like we've made up for, given the fact that
Yeah.
we've been like recording shit like every day.
And we did about a 12-hour road trip like 2 days ago.
25-hour live stream and a 12-hour road trip.
Yeah, so we got plenty of time with each other.
Yeah, we're making up for it real fast.
I'm glad we haven't got tired of each other yet, because that really says something, all right? So I think we'll be good.
Yeah. I think as long as we keep feeding energy to each other, we'll never get tired. What else was in that we talked about? There was something else.
So we talked about like the ideological stuff. We asked some questions. We talked about career goals. I said something about how I was going to try my hardest in military training. And although I passed most every test first try, like I did very well, I think I could have poured more of myself into it. But the problem was I was so physically and mentally exhausted that like I had to use the free time I had to like do stupid stuff just so I could stay motivated and stay sane. Because if I'd worked as hard as I basically told myself to do, like I would be, oh my god, I would have been miserable. But I had a lot of fun. I had a lot of good experiences, and that's because I was able to fuck off a little bit, but I still did really well. So
let's talk about
I got a good middle
minute,
ground.
Your experience, because this is the first podcast you've recorded.
Yeah.
Post your training.
Yeah.
And post joining the military and shit.
Yeah.
And as much as people who probably can look at us and be like, oh wow, this is clearly an odd couple situation of a peace and love.
Yeah.
Go fuck yourself hippie, and a and a man who just joined the guard.
Yeah. We're both very
we're both very angry.
We're both very we both be very angry. But I'm a stubborn optimist. That's like what they called me in basic.
I'm a stubborn nihilist.
That's why we compliment each other, because sometimes I can let out my angrier side with you. Like I can rant about stuff and you completely understand. But sometimes
sometimes we'll both go on like we'll go too far on like on like a certain rant, and the other one will be like, shut up.
I'll be like, well, no, that's not exactly. Come on, like look at it this way. So we compliment each other, but not in a way that's like
buzz
rude.
Cut.
Yeah,
or you
like,
or you call me a mophead.
I've never called you that, but I might start calling you that now.
Please do. Please.
Mophead and buzz cut. I'm never gonna have a buzz cut again.
That sounds like, what that sounds like? It's like a Beavis and Butthead style.
Mophead and
something
buzz
that came on Adult Swim after King of the Hill.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Before King, after King of the Hill, but before Robot
We
Chicken.
should animate a pilot.
But okay, we can jump back to this for a second.
So
all of those crazy ass ideas and like stuff I tell myself to keep making.
Yeah.
Trust me, we've been making.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff that is going to be slowly trickling out for the next couple months. And new stuff is going to be made. I think the one that's already out is that we have rebranded originally what was Blue Curl Commentaries, because I could not think of a name. For months, I was like, normally I'm pretty decent at naming stuff.
Yeah.
I could not think of a name for that show, but we just still wanted to make it. So that's a real testament of like, just make the thing. Just do whatever it is that you're doing.
You have to rebrand sometimes.
Yeah.
Just
if you come up with the title later, fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
So we rebranded it. You can now find Catch a Movie Commentary.
Yeah.
And all your favorite podcast network, as well as this podcast, Long Hair Don't Care.
And we put a lot of energy into those last movies that we did. It was days and days of basically the same movie, just a little bit different every time.
So you actually got back in like mid-October, right? I don't know when you got back.
End of September.
So all throughout October, we were watching all the Friday the 13th movies on that. Those, we were already doing the commentary track, so that's nothing new. Now, what we have added to what we make are these little digestible highlight reels that you can find on the Blue Curl YouTube channel, Blue Curl Productions.
And they did very well in the first.
They're doing very well, and I'm happy. And we're gonna keep doing those. And for everything that we keep working on. it's just a never-ending cycle. It feels like, for every gap in like a time and project that we have, it's like, well, that one's done. We immediately fill it with something else. And you know what? I'm fine with that. I'm fine with overworking myself a little bit.
Yeah.
Not to the point of a detriment to me.
Yeah.
But right now, especially because like I'm finishing school.
Yeah.
I am almost done. And it's just super stressful, but it's like I know for a fact that I'm just gonna have to grind this last bit out.
Yeah.
So, and once that's done, I'll have even more time to dedicate to my creative stuff.
And then I'll get to start school.
And then you'll get to start school and live my hell.
Yay. I love learning, and I'm excited to start school, but then again, it's just like the workload along with creating.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not excited for the stress of that, but then again, I'll get to learn. I'll finally get to set up my business, which I was pressuring myself to do in the last podcast. So I'm very excited to learn. I love learning. What I don't love is eventually I'm going to have to choose between what I want to work on right now, what I'm going to work on later, and it's going to get like this back and forth of always working, which it'll be fine. I'll just take it in stride.
Does sound like a whole lot of talk, but there was also a lot of do, and you're going to start seeing the results of what we've been doing.
Yeah.
So this isn't all talk and nothing to show from it.
Yeah.
No, we've been working our fucking asses off.
Yeah. If you've been keeping an eye on it, like watching our podcast, watching our commentaries, just anything, just keep watching. You'll be impressed. All right.
Yeah. I'm very excited. I'm very, very excited.
I am too. Because the thing, like, as much as like the stress of working, I'm not looking forward to. I love working in general.
Yeah.
So like, I'll be able to take it in stride because I do generally enjoy learning and creating.
Now,
which if that's the back and forth, then whatever, I'll do it.
I know we're jumping about a bunch, but we did talk a little bit about moving in the future, but in the present, and like where we want to go in the rest of the for the rest of our lives and pursuing our dreams even further, or just pursuing like the kind of stuff that makes us happy.
Yeah.
The immediate move is that, do you want to say it or should I?
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Jake's moving in here with me,
which makes things a lot easier. So I could just walk. My bedroom eventually will just be like literally right there,
down that hallway, off camera.
So
he could walk about 20 feet and be in the studio.
Yeah. So I'll be sleeping like 20, 30 feet from here. So we'll be able to do podcasts and commentaries like basically whenever we want.
Yeah,
and then the other projects will just come along with that.
Yeah, we no longer have to schedule whole days where we're like, okay, we need to make sure we start by at least this time, and then we've never started by that time.
No, we have not.
It never once have I been like, we are going to start at 12 o'clock, and then it's 1:30. I'm screaming at a mixer.
I'm very punctually challenged.
Oh fuck! I want that on a T-shirt.
Punctually challenged. Yeah, that's been me my entire career and life. So I think that's some good merch. I should start producing that.
Punctually challenged.
Just leave us a comment if you would buy a shirt that says punctually challenged, because I'll make it. I'll make it. Don't worry.
Yeah. It's almost like having a degree, an arts-based degree, made me really good at making shit like that.
We're not afraid to sell merchandise.
But I would like to say, as I was talking about like what skills of mine have improved. My musical skills improved vastly. My artistic skills, like physically drawing,
especially your freehand drawing,
have improved immensely.
Awesome.
And I'm practicing, every day now. Whether it's just that, it's one of those things where it's like, whether it's exercise, guitar, or whether it's drawing or whatever it is, whatever you're trying to build. Just doing it all the time that you can. And that's hard for a lot of to gain the motivation out of that. But there's this really great YouTuber I watch, and he's on TikTok and stuff. He's a fitness instructor. His name is Jax Blade. Fucking fantastic work. He does a lot of these, like, it combines two things I love, which is cartoons and working out. And he has the series Tough Like the Tunes.
Yeah.
I don't know where it is he says it in there, but a big thing I think he said one time, I think it might have just even been offhanded. He said something along the lines of you don't need motivation. What you need is discipline.
Yeah.
And I think I've definitely got that I've definitely got way more discipline than I have motivation.
You know that I had to have discipline.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you went to the discipline
down my throat, every day.
And that's a good way to build habits and stuff.
Yeah.
How bad of a culture shock was it when you flew off from here and got down there?
I will say that, of course, the living situation was obviously very different because I was living in a bay with about 40-something dudes, and the showers. We had curtains on our showers, but you couldn't bring your clothes and towel in the shower with you because there's no hooks or anything. It's just a stall with a curtain and a shower head, so you had to leave them on the counter. I had never seen another naked man. Spoiler alert. I had no reason to. But then I went there, and they were like, okay, you guys have 15 minutes for all 40-something of you to take a shower in there. And I was like, what? So we all just went in there, threw all our freaking clothes off, and so it was automatically, I was just used to it. Whatever, just keep your eyes forward, and you'll be fine. So that was one of the weirdest parts, though.
So was that your biggest culture shock?
Yeah, because I was like, I don't want to be in the same room as these dudes, and I don't want to be near them if I'm naked. But then you get used to it because it's guys you live with every day.
Mm-hmm.
You use the bathroom, you brush your teeth together, you sleep in the same room. You have to guard them while they're sleeping. It's just, you just get used to it.
Yeah, can I say, please don't do that shit here?
Yeah, no, once I get to AIT, because AIT was 2 roommates with their own private bathroom, this huge hall, basically like a dormitory. I got used to having my privacy back, so I'm gonna keep that.
Good. And that's one of the good things about where we're at with this studio and where we're at and stuff is that we have separate rooms.
Yeah,
we're not. This is not a dormitory. We both have our spaces.
Yeah. One
of the things no, I gotta save that for the next podcast, even though it did relate to what I was talking about in there, but I'll save that. It was a thing about, don't worry about it, about extra life and stuff.
Okay. Because we want to talk about that separately.
But we've talked so much about how great a lot of what happened, we've got a lot of work done, and we've gotten better at, we've definitely, I think doing these podcasts and stuff, and this is the thing I got to talk about more extensively on the extra life thing.
Yeah. Really
has brought me back to the kind of person I want to be and the happiest I can be.
Yeah.
So that's great, and I'll go way more into that. But one of the things I need to kind of emphasize, it was not all good, and we weren't all. There were moments of I was really upset and sad. Not only because I didn't have access to talk to my best friend. I also I won't get too in depth in anything, but the past couple months has basically me been dealing with, I think I yelled about this on some other podcast. I've dealt with basically every facet of failing bureaucracies I can.
Yeah.
The biggest one being the healthcare.
Yeah.
For those of you who don't know, we live in the United States, where healthcare is a fucking joke.
Yeah, and banking too. The banking thing you went through.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah, you've been through the failure of every major system failing you, and you having to fucking take it.
Customs, the airport.
Gosh.
Have I been to the DMV lately? I don't know, maybe. Freaking the bank. The bank completely fucked me over.
Yeah.
As something that was not, I'm going to say legitimately not my fault.
Yeah.
And it was just a cycle of it was a month by month process of me just being oh, my account is not where I want it to be, and there's nothing I can do about this until it was an actual I can't get into it, but there was an actual issue.
Yeah.
And as someone who likes to keep a little bit of money saved at all times, It's very hard. And then, oh, guess what? You're having some financial issues. Oh, guess what? How about healthcare?
Yeah.
How about you? How about the perpetual system of trying to deal with these out with insurance.
Yeah.
Insurance was the
That
biggest pain. I've had to jump several different insurance carriers with like job changes and everything else. I think I may have been. I think I've been on 3 or 4 different health plans in the past couple months.
Gosh.
Which is ridiculous, but that's how it all worked out. Is like I had to just change that stuff.
Yeah.
So that was fun. I actually don't know. I need to print off my new card and put it in my wallet.
Yeah.
Great. Because
I put my new insurance information
Yeah.
in my car. I just realized that.
that'd
That'd be bad.
Oh, you mean when we were on a 12-hour road trip and
Yeah.
no, I think about 2 hours in, you were like, I don't have my insurance card in here. I'm like,
No, that's the funny thing is I had a way to access my information, and when the cop pulled me
Yeah, it
over
was
the
like through-
first day,
yeah.
and I told him, I was like, I haven't had my car for like the past 6 months. I was
Mhm.
like, I think somebody else moved it. My parents, they had it on their phone while I was gone. I was like, I could call my mom and get the insurance information. He was like, no, it's okay. And I was like,
It's
really? It's like,
still-
you don't want my, like, that seems kind of irresponsible, but okay.
Can I put you on blast?
No, he didn't. He just
No,
didn't
can I
get-
put you on blast for a second?
Oh my gosh.
You still got a $300 ticket.
I'm going to fight it. I'm not going to pay that.
Listen, as someone
I'll
who
tell you
drove
right now,
with
I'm gonna
you
win that
for
case.
many hours, I guarantee you were fucking speeding.
Listen, no, because he told me I wasn't speeding. He told me that I was going 75 when I pulled up. So that means, and yes, I know that I speed a lot, but the fact that
You
told
speed a
me,
lot.
He told me, and I was trying to speed while you were asleep, so you wouldn't notice.
Yeah, no, trust me. I know.
I know a few times you woke up, and I was like, shit.
I woke up.
I didn't want to scare you, but I was just like fucking tired of driving, and I was like, he's asleep. I can't even talk to anyone now.
Yeah,
So I was just like trying to get through.
It was 2 a.m. We had gotten 5 hours sleep the nights before.
Yeah, there was nobody on the road, and he was asleep, and I was like, I'm ready to be home. It's been 11 to 12 hours. I was like, let's fucking get it.
No, it was closer to 13.
Yeah, because we had to stop a few times.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. That was fun.
Yeah,
It
I
was
tried to stop for gas without waking you up. That's why when you woke up, the visor was down because I was like, maybe I can block the light from his eyes so he won't notice we stopped.
Dude, I didn't notice. I was so
Yeah.
dead tired.
You were half asleep when I looked back
You
in the
dropped
car.
me off here, and I was like, and I walked in the house. I think you handed me a cookie or something.
Yeah, because you wanted that final sugar cookie, and I was like, you can have it, and then you were about to leave, and I was like, just take it with you.
Oh yeah, because I didn't. You gave me a sugar cookie. I didn't eat it.
Yeah, you did.
And then as I was leaving, I had like half-open bags and my laptop and stuff in my hands, and
Yeah.
just gave me the cookie.
I was like, you said you wanted it, so I was like, here you go, take it with you.
Okay. I was just.
I kind of wanted it afterwards though, because like I still have my fudge, and I ended up finishing my fudge that next night whenever me and Mickey were at the house painting stuff.
I think we found out why you don't have the six pack,
cookie. Huh. Listen, I love sweets. I love
and I don't.
baking sweets like sweet potato pies and stuff like that. I love eating sweets, but I also love fitness and being healthy. And those two, they don't fit together. So
Well, if you do enough of,
let's see which one wins.
if you do enough of the fitness, it can counteract at least some of.
The Army taught me you can outwork a bad diet, all right? People say, oh, no, you have to diet, all right? My high metabolism is going to take care of it for me, but the Army taught me
Because you're a child.
I can do enough cardio to just fucking shred that shit off, all
Hey,
right?
Jake, in 10 years, somebody tweet this at him. And then.
My brother's a few years older than me, and he still has his fast metabolism, so I'm hoping to maintain it until I'm at least 25. All right, if I get to 25 and I start losing it, hopefully by that point we'll have to keep a good physique, so I don't have a choice but to work out. So
Those
see.
neural synapses will build up. That's what I was talking. We are so all over the place. Maybe we haven't gotten.
we do this
better at
every podcast.
Yeah, maybe we haven't gotten better at this. But what I was talking about was like, with like that discipline thing was
yeah.
that if you do something
Call back.
long enough and just keep doing it, it becomes habit, and then it becomes easier and easier to do. So like for me, drawing every day or working out or practicing guitar or whatever,
Well, that's the thing. That's if you do it yourself.
Yeah.
If somebody is forcing you to do it, it doesn't exactly work the same way.
It doesn't
I worked out at 4 a.m. basically every morning for 6 months, and I haven't started back doing that because nobody's there making me do it.
Making you do
It's
that.
like if you want to build discipline, don't expect the military or a job or whatever to do it for you. You have to take the initiative to build your own discipline.
I wonder if us living together, if we'll be able to do that.
I think we can hold each other
Like,
accountable. Like you never force me to do anything, but at least
Shame.
knowing that you're watching me, like that you're like you see what I do, so I know if I don't work out or if I don't, I don't know, whatever else, like that you'll know.
I
and
wonder
you'll be
if
like,
we were
he
like,
should be doing this.
we're both going to the gym at the same time every morning or something. If that would keep us accountable.
I'm gonna try to get back on my morning workout schedule because that seems to be the best time to do it for me because it gets you energized for the rest of the day. I do enjoy working out in the morning. I just haven't got back into it because I've been so lazy. Like just trying to get used to being home and also moving. Moving really stresses me out.
Yeah.
I wake up in the morning and my stuff is all in bags and my posters are all off the wall and everything is so cluttered and I'm just like, I don't even want to wake up into this. Like I just want to not deal with this.
Sage advice for everyone at home. If you're college aged and like your buddy's like, hey, will you help me move?
Yeah.
I don't care if they literally took a bullet for you. The answer is no. Helping someone move is the worst thing. I'm
gonna say the opposite. And if your friend needs help moving, just if you're willing, just do it.
It sucks.
This is where we go back and forth.
Sucks. It sucks. I used to have a job that was literally moving furniture all day, and it didn't break me as hard as like helping a buddy move because at least when it was like I was picking up furniture from people's houses, like they had it ready to go.
Yeah.
They had it ready to go. There was no like trying to get shit down a flight of stairs. It was on the porch. We picked it. We threw it in a truck.
Yeah.
Did not strap anything. It was a complete safety violation.
Wait, who were you working with?
That was when I worked for.
No, but who were you working with? Like who was? Because I worked with and
both of them.
Okay, yeah, I could see doing that.
We both worked at the same place.
Yeah, we had the same exact job. In fact, I literally told them to hire him, and then he worked there while I was gone. Yeah. So we like it was me, and then he takes the same job. So we know.
It's weird to think that was that recent too.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, yeah, I probably worked there 2 years ago.
No, that was like
no, that was right
ago.
when you left. I was working there.
I was working there. Oh my
Just
god! Up to the point that I left. I would work there again, except for of what you told me why you left.
Oh,
and I don't really want to go back.
I don't want to
working.
I don't
want
to put anything on blast.
It wasn't because of the company itself. It was because of the agency that connected us with the company. It wasn't completely the company's fault.
We didn't say the company's name, and I don't want to.
Yeah, so I'm not gonna call them out. But it was a good company. So
maybe I should also bleep their names, given that I said that we committed
it's just
straight up safety violation. Yeah, you don't know who it was.
Yeah,
no one knows who it was. This was all hypothetical in a video game.
These people aren't even listening to this podcast. I can tell you that right now.
They might be.
Like they were good friends with me, but I didn't tell them the name of the podcast. I don't know if you did.
I might have.
Oh well, maybe they're listening. If you're listening, we're sorry. We didn't say your last name or the company, so just stay anonymous.
So as for
we got into a weird tangent right there.
This is all bizarre.
This happens every time.
This is the most. I'm just glad to have you back.
I'm really glad to be back. I mean,
I missed you.
Like you said, working, especially working with you, going to Extra Life, doing podcasts and stuff. It really makes me feel like an actual productive adult.
Yeah.
Because when I'm at home by myself, like I need to pack up the rest of my room, and I'm just like, it stresses me out so much that I'm just like existing in there every single time.
And there's a time for your brain to decompress and just don't do jack shit and lay on a couch.
Yeah.
There's also time, and this may be a me thing, but the quickest way to put me in a bad mood is to just make me have to like stay still and not do something.
That's the thing with me, is that the only reason I would literally have gotten so low by this if it weren't for you and the podcast and stuff, I would have gotten so low by this point that I would have done a complete 360 and I would have had to jump into some kind of, like just done some sort of work.
Something.
But since we're working, like I have the time to actually heal my brain while we're still being productive. Because if I was stagnant right now, then I wouldn't be. It would last for like
And
a
that's
week,
what
and I
I
would
think
start to hate
why my mental health
my
got
life.
so bad during COVID was just because like it was, and why I think in those pre-recorded podcasts I'm talking like this, and I'm not sure exactly what my next sentence is because I'm so concerned about what I'm saying instead of how I am now, where I legitimately don't care.
And every once in a
I
while,
fulfilled the name of the
apparently,
show.
I would like duck away from the mic like that.
Yeah.
So you'd lose sound, and you're like, why was he doing that? I didn't know.
And I think
Could be right here.
I think part of the reason was that during COVID, it was like I couldn't do anything.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just stuck in a room like Bo Burnham.
Yeah.
You know, but he did
This is your
something
inside.
super creative in that time. And
Yeah, that was amazing.
you know, but
Inside
it
was-
was like, but now that like we're at the point where it's like I've gotten my shots, and to touch on what we're saying about how the world, I would say overall the COVID issue,
Yeah.
is getting better. It's not over. It probably will never be over.
Yeah.
But we're at least at a point where me and you sitting here fully vaccinated can have a conversation and not be terrified.
Yeah.
You know, the thing was back when we did those pre-recorded podcasts, it was before a vaccine. We had our bubbles, and we just were able to fit each other in them.
Yeah, me and you were basically each other's pod at that point in time.
Yeah, exactly.
Other than working, and I had to wear a mask at work every day, which sucked. Especially working that construction job because I was outside.
And I think
oh my gosh,
I don't even know what I
awful.
was doing at that point. I might have been working from home. I don't know.
Probably the newspaper.
No, that was way before.
Was it? Because you gave us a shipment of newspapers not long before I left.
Yeah, but that's because that shit was laying in my car for months.
Okay, because I was going to say, you were going back and forth.
And if
between
it
them.
was the newspaper, then it means I didn't have any contact with any human being.
Yeah.
You know, so it was that was weird. Dude, I think there is a part of me that's like, I wonder if I'll look back on this the same way and be like, man, we just keep getting better at this.
Yeah.
Or I'll look back and I was like, I really hope what doesn't happen is like, no, I peaked there. I never want that to happen.
That's what I'm saying. If that happens, if you look, it's like people who are envious of their careers, like when they were on a hit show in the 90s or something like that.
Or
if
think
you
they
look
peaked
back,
in high school.
Yeah, exactly. If you look back on your life and you look back an older version of yourself and you say, that's the person I want to be, then you've failed. In my opinion, I'm sorry. Like, I want people to come up from that. I don't want that to be like you're envious of yourself. You were right here, but then you come up here, you raise, and you become better than that. But if you're envious of past version of yourself, that's how you truly know that you haven't lived like you're supposed to. So I think that should be a sign to anybody. If you feel like that, be better. Just work. Do something productive. Work out. Just
And I
don't
can't
know,
even
like, I
stress
can't
how
explain it,
much
just do it.
doesn't even have to be a big thing.
Yeah.
That just find something that whatever gets those little serotonin kicks in your head going.
Yeah.
And just as long as it's healthy.
Yeah.
Just start building it and just even if it's just a slight thing or every day. Like,
Yeah.
I read a chapter of this book.
Yeah. Because everyone can look back and be nostalgic, but you should be doing something in the present that you wouldn't have done in the past or that you're more proud of. Like, you should be a better person in general. You shouldn't, want to be the person you used to be.
And then there's ebbs and flows of different points of your life where like you're gonna be happy, you're gonna be sad,
Yeah.
And for me, those may be manic, but there's a sense that I always just want to keep improving and keep creating and we can look around on the walls in here of just all, and there I have in a Discord server that we have a channel, a little Artist Alley channel.
Yeah.
Where I put all of my sketches and all my drawings and stuff, and the other day I looked back, I was like, oh shit, this sketchbook's almost full. I gotta go buy a new one.
Yeah.
That's something new to me. I've never completely filled a sketchbook before. Normally,
Yeah.
I don't lose them, but I put them in a bag, and then I end up forgetting it's there. And
Yeah.
then I go buy a new one. So the fact that I've got, I think, like less than 10 pages left of just sketches to put down.
Yeah.
And I didn't even do Inktober this year. That was just organic sketches. It wasn't me, like, I wasn't taking the prompts or anything.
Yeah.
Even, like, looking at my old art on Instagram, I'm like, man, I've gotten better. So, I don't know how long we've been going for, but
I wish I would have looked at the time before we started, so I would know.
yeah,
but
I
honestly,
too. But
maybe like an hour.
I don't know. Should I go check real quick? Just to
Yeah.
see? Is there anything you want to add about basic and stuff,
I
about
don't
your
know.
experience?
I just
and time
like
there?
one of the
Or is
things
that
I'm most
something
proud of.
that's fit for an entire podcast to talk
No, I think that if anyone truly wanted to know anything, they could just ask me, because it was like basically the best thing that happened was I made some amazing friends. I had some amazing experiences, and I'm pretty proud of the fact that people say that I didn't actually change that much. Some people
about.
like
You didn't.
Yeah,
Like, I
like-
was so afraid you were gonna come back.
Yeah.
And my like ultra
Yeah.
ultra Steven's dad from
Yeah.
Steven Universe persona I've got going on.
Yeah.
Just the like, I would love to live in a van.
Yeah.
Like that vibe. I was so afraid that you were gonna come back as like this dignified, like gun-toting military man, and then
No,
me and
like-
you would just hate each other.
Of course, I developed some skills and I improved like with my medical knowledge and stuff like that. But my personality itself, I stayed like I've always said I'm a very prominent optimist. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like, I want to. They call me Sunshine because there'd be times when everyone was in a bad mood. We just gotten smoked, and I'm just like making jokes, smiling, doing something, and they're mad. They're like, "Why are you happy right now? What is wrong with you?" I'm just like, I don't know. Like,
Can I say that's in every group? Because we were in high school theater.
Yeah.
That was still how it happened. We were all angry. It was night, and we had been running the show 9 times.
Yeah.
And then and we would just be. That's a lot, actually. Like 3 times.
Yeah.
And you
Depending on the day, we had whole days where we did that.
Yeah,
though.
that is true. Ugh.
Like Saturdays, where we just keep doing it over and over again, and we made subs in the.
And as much as I
middle
just
school.
went ugh, I miss it so much, and I'm so
I
happy to be
love-
back into it.
I love live theater, and I really want to get back to that. But I mean, I wasn't gonna focus on this, so this is gonna be my first priority, because this is what I want to do most is the recording and the filming stuff and the writing.
And I'm
I
teaching
love
Jake
live
how to
theater,
edit so that I get to
but
work
it's a hobby.
off my load.
Yeah, we're gonna split the workload a little bit more than we already do, because I definitely want to expand my skill set. Never
Because
be
I
stagnant.
can't have a hard drive full of Premiere files.
Yeah.
I was just going through. I was like, delete. I was like, ugh.
Yeah.
But I was like, because like at a certain point, I was like, oh, all I need to keep is the final product. I don't need to keep the raw footage or anything.
Yeah.
This is so inside baseball, but I was like, but maybe someone finds it interesting. I don't know.
Yeah.
It was I could not be. I could not be more grateful for you, but also shut the fuck up.
I know. I was thinking the same thing. I was like, should I reach over and shut it up?
Shut it off.
It's on 2%. I thought it was gonna die by now, but it's just sitting there. It's still just
Your phone's
chugging
always on
away.
2%. No matter where we are, it could be 6 a.m. and your phone's at 2%.
I just forget to charge it, or I'm too lazy to reach behind the bed and plug it up before I go to sleep. Like, there's just so many reasons. It's all about laziness.
that I think the even our predictions back then, but maybe we didn't know what we were talking about a bit, and we're like how much we could reasonably get done and still stay sane.
Yeah.
I want to just emphasize how much I'm glad that there was a book I read. It's called The African Samurai. If you haven't looked into that story, I can't remember the guy's name, but it's based on real events and stuff. But just look that up. There's a quote at the beginning of the book. In fact, is it behind me? I don't think it is. But there's a quote at the beginning of that book that I think it's an African proverb where it's like, the lion does not look back because it's afraid, but because the lion does not look back because it is afraid, but to see how far it has come.
Yeah.
And I think that's I think that's what this little experiment, because I knew
Yeah.
that all those earlier podcasts were gonna suck. And honestly, listening to all of our top tens, they're the worst fucking podcasts on this list that you guys have heard. Like the ones I recorded with other people were way more interesting. I mean, just rambling and shit.
Yeah.
And I just like to see how far we've come in this short of a time, just in the capabilities of speaking into a microphone.
I'm glad now that we're getting to a point where we look back, we examined our past, and now where we're moving forward. Because as the great Jack would say, those who look only to the past or the present are certain to miss the future. Haha! I quoted JFK this time. I'm sorry. I just started thinking about it. I was like, what if I quoted JFK again, just to keep that pretension that we had in the last one?
We're such idiots. I'm so happy that this is what this show has become. It's just a thought experiment. Like that's all it was. I think there was a part of me that was like, I knew that those were going to be bad, and I knew we were going to be better now, and that's why I wanted to do it.
And we still have. I mean,
we have to cut.
Reasons, so we still have some of that.
There's a part of me that doesn't want to cut anything about what we talked about there, but there's some stuff I legitimately have to cut out.
Yeah.
Just some bad situations need to get ixed.
Not anything that happened with us. It was something outside of our circle. Neither of our faults, but we just would like to avoid any drama.
Yeah, that's the biggest way to put it. But I can't wait. Podcasts are going to end up becoming. I think they're still going to be a little hectic for a little bit longer.
Yeah.
Especially the next few weeks when you're moving here.
Yeah.
But I think by the first of the year, or even probably late December, we're gonna be on a very rigid schedule for everything we make.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of waiting until stuff like my schoolwork load lightens up. Because right now it's like the only reason we were able to record multiple podcasts today is because I had an exam get pushed.
Yeah.
That's the kind of deadlines we're working under right now. So as certain things get lightened up, new things are coming in, and I'm super excited. But more importantly, I'm just excited that you're back.
Yeah, but I'm glad to be back. I'm glad to be working with you. I'm always glad to do this show, but I'm glad we finally get to focus on this and do this a lot more, because I think that we have really good stuff here, like our dynamic, and I just enjoy sitting here and talking with you. So I think that this will be one of our something that's on our workload that'll be generally easy, because we just get to sit down and just have a conversation, which we do anyways.
So, we just have to make sure to
easy
plug
stuff.
a mixer in first.
Yeah. Just make sure to press the sound button before we start.
Oh my gosh. There's one button that I always forget to press. It's the phantom power button to the mics.
Yeah.
But if I don't press that button, nothing gets recorded.
So we gotta be careful.
So I gotta make sure to press that button at all times.
Yeah.
And I have to turn it off before I unplug the mixer.
Yeah.
So it has to be off.
So you have to keep pressing every single time you turn it on or off. You have to keep pressing it. So it's just that getting ingrained in your brain. But
go check out Catch a Movie Commentary and the highlights all on the Blue Curl Productions YouTube. I'm so happy that I've been able to improve this much in such a short period of time. It makes me think where I'm going to be in 2 years from now, 4 years from now, you know. And it makes me optimistic for once.
Yeah, I definitely am too.
And it just makes me just completely filled with joy for what's coming forward and what we're able to do.
And like I said,
the opportunities that have come and are coming forward soon.
Like I said, if you started listening to us and you think that we're interesting for one reason or another, just keep watching. Follow us on Instagram. Follow Blue Curl on whatever you can find it on.
It's Blue Curl Productions on most
Facebook,
things.
Twitter, TikTok. Just follow us on whatever you want, and there'll be stuff on every page. Follow us individually if you want. Just stay updated.
Go to Blue Curl and you can find all of us from there.
If you see some really stupid TikToks, you can look me up, but
Jake's TikTok feed. There was a period when me and you, like, we looked at TikTok together, and it was like, you know what, ours are pretty similar. And then I think we were both scrolling the other day. I'm like, what the fuck did you end up on? You send me the most demented stuff I've ever seen.
The FYP, my FYP is just so random now. I get like creepy TikTok. I was watching them last night, and I was like literally afraid. I couldn't leave my room because I was like, what if this man is waiting outside? I was like, I'm just staying in my bed. I'm not leaving.
I'm just on like Dungeons and Dragons and artist TikTok.
I like ADHD humor.
Yeah,
I
we're both
like
there.
horror TikToks. I like just the
I'm not
stupidest
there.
stuff I can find. Like I think that I finally found my FYP that most everything I look at is interesting to me, but it's just like not every. I like sending people just the stupidest videos. I think it's hilarious.
Stuff.
Yeah.